on.
You can.
Yeah, just checking.
Doesn't it show up on?
Wow. It does say that. Let me just
Type something.
Yeah, look at that facial expression. It always grabs the most awkward facial expressions. Hello, everybody.
Hey, how's it going? I'm going to type something. Hi, everyone. Have we got anyone on board yet?
Oh, yeah, we do. Hello. Hey, Lisa. You've joined us 2 nights in a row. You're amazing. It's a bit much to expect having 2 lives in a row, isn't it?
Yeah, unusual.
Hey, Tasha. I didn't set up the microphone. Can you guys hear our voices fine? Hey, Shannon.
Good to see some familiar names there.
Yes. Yeah, so can you hear us all right without a microphone? I actually just rushed out to go pick up our daughter from work unexpectedly. So I've just rushed in the door and I didn't have time to set up the microphone properly. So if you could just let us know, that would be wonderful. Okay, I wasn't... Oh, good. Thanks, Lisa. I was just saying to Jordan... Sorry? Oh, and Tasha. Thank you. And Shannon. I was just saying to Jordan, I'm actually not even feeling nervous. I thought that I would feel nervous for this particular live, but now I'm feeling the nerves. Hey, Megan, nice to see you too. It's really, like Jordan said, it's really lovely to see the community, like what's the anchors of the community showing up. Thank you. Beautiful. Now, there's a couple of people, we can't see your names. So if you haven't clicked the link in the description of this live post to allow us to see your name, that would be amazing, because we're using a streaming service called Be Live and it just requires Facebook's permission for us to see your name. So, if any of you were here 12 months ago when we did a big announcement live about some changes that we were making, we waffled on for so long before we got to the point. We're not going to do that tonight, right?
Yeah, we've made a commitment to ourselves to try and keep it as succinct as possible. But obviously, we're nervous because it's changes, right? And so, we're excited, but we're also nervous, and we, sometimes that can get the best of us, and we can waffle a little bit. But firstly, want to say thank you for turning up. We appreciate you spending some time tonight with us, especially those who have kids and it's bedtime.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, family is actually part of the central reason for this live and for what's behind it. We'll get to all the details shortly, but we wanted to spend a moment, thanks you legends, we want to spend a moment just to briefly cover off on our journey so far, and it's been a wonderful journey. We've had some incredible times doing some really fun things. But the highlight has obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but the highlight absolutely for us is seeing people like yourself grasp these concepts that we love and we've tried to share and have made some massive changes in the life to improve their health, feel better, mental clarity, all those wonderful benefits that come from eating whole food. So that's been the most rewarding, without question, has seeing that from members of the community that we've been able to have a chance to share some knowledge with.
Yeah, and not just in the day-to-day, emails and little blogs and things that we would do, but the challenges have been a big highlight for us, right? Starting off with the 21-day Whole Food My Family challenge. If any of you were with us back in the day when we did that one, that kicked us off, and we've done the supercharged smoothies challenges and the fiber challenges, and there's more coming. But it's been like such an honor, and it sounds cliche, but it's absolutely true. Jordan and I it has kept us going, because we're about to share with you some behind the scenes significant challenges that we've been facing this whole time. And those, the feedback that we've been getting from you guys, honestly, it buoys us up, and it really has kept us going for these, 6 years now?
Yeah, it's been a wonderful time. So I guess on that, we wanted to share that what probably you guys haven't seen, most of you, from the journey perspective. So you've seen some of the great highlights, and we've shared some of those wonderful moments, and it's been truly a blessing. But there's been a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
And as probably a lot of you would know, Rosie, we're live, darling. Can you close the door, please?
We'll be back soon.
Yeah. Yeah, no, just darling, give us some time, please. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with business and the toll that it takes on your resources of time and finances and relationships. Is, it's a price. It's a price that you pay, and we've loved that. We've loved knowing that we've been able to share us and what we've been able to learn with a wonderful, awesome community. And
I thought I would be the emotional one, but so far it's you.
And so, it's been really challenging. The price, it's cost us quite a bit in terms of our family, in terms of our marriage relationship, in terms of our finances, and we've borrowed a whole bunch of money, and it's just it hasn't worked out how we've planned. We expected to grow a lot quicker and to have a lot more shopping at the Whole Food Collective that we have now, and that's nobody's fault. It's simply the fact that either we haven't done it properly, we've lacked knowledge, whatever it is. It's just the result is we haven't been able to get where we wanted to be, and it's really difficult for a low margin food business that's trying to provide all these range of products to compete with the big players, especially when whole foods and organic whole foods are becoming so much more popular that all the big players have much greater buying capacity than we do as a small family business. So we've been toying with the idea for a while that we need to focus on what's going to help us be sustainable. But thankfully, that sort of has developed over a couple of years when we've getting to know families and people who are wanting to make changes into whole food living and want to put behind them all the crap that we're fed by food corporations and all the rubbish that's been touted as truth and just basic the food that makes us sick, really. So we started making convenience blends. We started with the supercharged smoothie blends, which everyone really loved, and we were so stoked we were able to get those up and out. And then we expanded into the fiber-rich range and a whole bunch of other blends, the granolas, all these different foods that are pure whole foods put together in a convenient and awesome way. And you guys have really gotten behind that and have lapped it up, and we're so grateful that those products have resonated with you, because we love them and we use them every day, and so it's been wonderful that you guys have got behind that. And so where this is going is we simply don't have the money to continue to provide a full service of a whole food store, because it costs a lot of money tying up cash in making sure there's 450 lines of a product available for everyone to shop all the time. It's been a real challenge without a huge amount of capital to back us. It's been tough, and so as much as we would love to be able to continue having a store where everyone can buy really awesome, clean whole foods, the reality is we have to pivot from being a one-stop shop and focus on the booster blends that we make. So that's the big announcement. That's the big change that we're making, and it is challenging for us to to do this in the sense, because we know that we're going to disappoint some people. And we both don't like doing that. But on the same note, the same token, we've got a family to look after. And we know that the value and the benefit that comes from niching down and focusing on what makes us different is going to be able to allow us to put more time and effort into bringing those blends to more people. So, you know, we're excited, even though it might not come across as excitement right now, but we are excited to pivot in what we're doing at the Whole Food Collective and to become a premium blend company as opposed to a one-stop retail store online.
It's been quite a long time coming. We seem to have just we have survived for quite a long time while toying with this idea. Jordan's got, I guess, better logic when it comes to this than I. It's taken me a long time to come around to this idea, basically. He's been in my ear for, 12 months or more, saying that we've got to make some big changes. But I think we were, maybe particularly me, but we're just so attached emotionally to still offering, sharing organic whole foods with you. That was the start of our passion. That was the start of the Whole Food Collective, and I just did not want to let that go. Over the last 12 months or so, it has been encouraging little by little, month to month, as we've run more challenges and people have been experiencing more of the blends that we make, and we're getting more feedback that's just so enthusiastic. And we get people saying, I know Lisa's right here. Lisa said that our smoothies have changed her life. She told us last night on last night's live, sorry. And so when we get feedback like that, it really does buoy us up, and it makes me believe that this is actually possible. We actually have a responsibility to share this more. And I remember last week we went down to Byron Bay to visit a friend. It's our happy place as a family. We go there about once a year, and we stay down there. Oh, I'm wobbling the camera. And this idea was kind of presented to us as basically the only way forward. And it was really hard. Like, I was feeling physically sick for a few days at the thought of doing it. It's nerve-wracking. It's a big change. But in the last few days particularly, I have actually felt really peaceful about it. I've actually felt some excitement about it. I feel like this is actually a really great opportunity for us and also for our community to really move forward.
I just want to, sorry to interrupt, but someone's just mentioned they hope we'll see our blends in Whole Foods stores, supermarkets, everywhere. And I wanted to actually touch on that, because there's one reason why it may not happen. And this is really integral to understand. I hope I can communicate it properly from a perspective of there's two ways that we could go about Booster Blends, which is going to be the name more than likely of the venture moving forward once we transition.
Side note, what do you think about Booster Blend Co?
Anyway, so there's two ways that can be a sustainable venture. One is that we do wholesale to retail stores. Secondly, we be able to continue supplying direct to people like yourself through a direct retail relationship. And the reason why that we've focused on that in the past has been, and this is hard to say because it's just the way that the supply chain is set up in our way of the Western world of business, and that is that you've got a manufacturer / producer, then you've got multiple levels of the supply chain before you get to the retailer. So each one of those levels needs to make money, and so there's multiple margins that have to be added on. So you start off with a product that costs so very little, and then if you're wanting to satisfy the demands of every level of that supply chain, then the retail person ends up paying a huge amount of money for a small value of product, really, when you look at what's actually in it. And before we had a look at the blends, and we've looked around at a lot of different blends, and we were so surprised at how much they were charging for such a small amount of goodness in a product, and we just couldn't justify doing that. So all of our blends are jam-packed full of incredible organic, spray-free whole foods, and I think that's why they're getting such a good response from the market. But unfortunately, that doesn't leave a lot of room for us to be able to get into a wholesale space, and to be able to, you know, make it, sell it to someone who then sells it to you. And I've always wanted to be direct, because I've found that I'll always enjoy that customer relationship side of things. And so, I appreciate the support in hoping to see our blends all over the place. We're actually, one of the reasons why we're doing this live and announcing this and being here with you tonight is because we've got a favor to ask, a couple of favors, to help us to be able to, it just turned off, help us to be able to continue doing what we're doing without having to cut out a whole bunch of the goodness in our blends in order for there to be enough margin to sell to a wholesaler, for them to sell it to a retailer, for them to sell it to you. It's a convoluted supply chain, and it builds in a lot of margin, and I don't like that plan personally. So we're trying to go direct to you guys and to other Australians similar to you, so we don't have to pull out a lot of the goodness to allow margin for everyone to take their slice of the pie. So what we're going to request from you guys is a couple of things. Obviously, for everyone who's tried our blends, did you just mute it?
No, I just turned the sound down because the notifications were coming through.
Everyone who's tried our blends, we really thank you for your support. And those who rave about them, we're so glad and appreciative that you do rave about them. We ask that you can continue to rave about them, even more so now than before, if possible. Secondly, in order to pay a lot of our outstanding overdue bills that we have, we need to have a sale. And that is going to be a clearance sale, because there's most of our lines we're not actually going to be providing anymore. We're only going to be focusing on our booster blends. So out of about 450 lines, roughly, there's going to be about 25 of the booster blends that will remain. So there's a whole bunch of flowers, nuts, seeds, berries, all the foods that you've been buying for months and years, maybe, that we're going to sell off on a clearance. Now, we'd love to make it a super discounted clearance sale. We really would. We'd love to provide that benefit to you guys, but unfortunately, we have a lot of bills to pay, and we need to try and conserve some funds to be able to provide some free challenges over the next few months. So it's going to be a clearance sale of 5%. And it's not a huge amount, but it's a little bit, and we hope you appreciate it. But we're asking if you guys can support us on that clearance sale, and shop all the products that you love. Shop a bit more than you normally would if you can, because they're not going to be available after it's going to probably be about a week. It'll take probably to clear all the lines. So we want to invite you to participate. That sale will start. You got to give me about 20 minutes after we finish this live, so I can load it up to the site. And then, so we're asking you to please support us in that if you can. The next one is a big one too. Fortunately, we've been able to provide a loyalty program which has been, according to industry standards, the most generous on offer in a food retailer. And unfortunately, we cannot continue the loyalty program anymore. So we're having to bring that to an end. But the points that you've accumulated, obviously, are still valid, and you can use them in the sale. The huge favor, if it is at all possible, and we totally understand if it's not, because you're welcome to them, you earned them. If it's at all possible to just lay aside those, sorry, it's a lot to ask, but if it's possible, if you can do it, shop without using your points. That would be very helpful. But we totally understand, if that's not viable for you guys, we totally get it. So it's not a, it's just a huge request that is not an expectation at all. But we did want to share with you what would be really helpful moving forward. So supporting us in the clearance sale, and if possible, ignoring the points that you've accumulated. But yeah, whatever you can do would be great. Yeah, we're very grateful for the supportive community that we've been able to be a part of, and that brings me to the next, I guess, couple of points we wanted to make, and that is what's going to change, what is not going to change, what's going to stay the same. We are still going to have the Whole Food Collective, which will merge into the Premium Blend Company. It'll change the name eventually, but Booster Blends or something of that ilk. We are going to still run the collective community, our Facebook group, because we love being involved there, and obviously, everyone sharing their passion with Whole Foods, everyone helping each other out with advice on how to do this or how to do that, what to use here. That's such a wonderful thing to see.
And we still have our recipe website that was recently relaunched.
Yeah, recipe website's going to stay, so you guys can access those recipes. And we're still going to have our Instagram account. We're still going to run our free challenges, because that's a fantastic way that we can introduce people to these blends. A nice, easy way to do that. And a lot of you have probably come across the Whole Food Collective through those free challenges. So we want to keep doing those. So yeah, there's a few things that aren't going to change. Unfortunately, as we've already touched on, it's taken a huge financial toll, and we have to really, in order to move forward, we have to really empty out what we're doing at the Whole Food Collective in terms of excess product, but also our team has to be reduced. It's just going to be Laini and I for a while, and hopefully if we can get on top of what we need to do, we'll be able to bring some of those team members back in, because we love them and we are so grateful for their help in doing what we've been trying to do. So it's going to be tough for a little bit, but we really hope that we know we have a lot of confidence in our products, and we have a lot of confidence in you guys and the general community who are looking for these types of foods. Everyone who comes across, we introduce this to, gives us great feedback. So we know that if we can just get in front of enough people, then we're going to be able to generate enough business to be able to be sustainable moving forward. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that we
excuse me, I had to sneeze. Just sneeze off camera.
That we're going through, and the difficult changes we have to make now in order to remain viable, and will allow us to really focus down on our premium blends so that they can get to more people. So
what he said, I think you've done a great job explaining it all. I think it's nice to see your heart through it all. All right, guys.
Yeah, we think, like, we're really grateful. Thank you for all the awesome feedback. So I think it's probably time to wrap it up. It's almost been half an hour.
Do you know that this is actually, he's been the positive one through this whole time. He's been the one kind of buoying me up, going, it's going to be okay. This is actually a really positive move. It's really exciting. So it's been nice to see this for me tonight.
I am really excited, and I know that, excuse me, it's the best way forward. It's just, it's a challenge to disappoint people.
Yeah. And it's been a long history. 6 years is a long time. And honestly, the Whole Food Collective has kind of taken over our family's life for the last 6 years. And so we've really poured out, like our kids are, across everything. They live and breathe it just as much as we do almost. And that's been part of the problem, to be honest. And as Jordan alluded to before, I guess that's a long story. We don't really, it's self-explanatory what I'm trying to say, right? It's been a lot. And so it's a long history to change and pivot and to let go of a large portion of what we've been focusing on for all this time. We are just as passionate about whole foods as we ever have been, and they're always what are going to be inside of our blends. And this is a way to make whole food convenient for so many more families in Australia. And so, yeah, it's big and it's risky and it's nerve-wracking and it's sad, but it's also really exciting, and we're thankful for you guys.
Yeah, it's an end of a chapter, and we're so grateful that you've been in this chapter with us. We really are. If there's some people who have jumped in late, or if there's some questions you may have, we have put together a small FAQs page, and I'll put the link in the comments. It's simply thewholefoodscollective.com/pages/TWC-changes-FAQs.
Wow.
But anyway,
we'll email it to you.
We'll email it and I'll put it in the comments, and you guys can check that out and see if there's and if there's anything that you're uncertain about, please let us know. We'll add it to the FAQs for those over the next few days. But just as a as a send off, we're really grateful. We thank you for your support. It's been wonderful, and we really look forward to moving on stronger and better. We feel, I wanted to share an analogy which might be too late because everyone's starting to drop off, so I won't go into it. But the story of Rocky, Sylvester Stallone, and how that movie came about is incredible. An incredible story of not giving up on what you believe in, and regardless of the amount of times you get knocked down, to just keep getting up. And that's the whole premise for the story of Rocky and that series. And we feel like we have been down, and we've been knocked down a few times, and it feels like a pretty low point now, but we know that this pivot that we are making now is going to help us get up stronger. And we really want you guys to continue with us, and we pray and hope that you will continue to support. As you've been saying in the comments, you will. We thank you so much. Hopefully we can clear out all this product that we're no longer going to be selling, and we can race forward with more blends. We've got a whole bunch in the pipeline that we want to get out to you guys, and we want to get these blends in front of more people so that we can be more sustainable and continue doing this for as long as we can. So we are very grateful. We thank you for your support, and we look forward to seeing you in the Facebook group, and we're still going to be TWC/Booster Blends for a while, and we'll still be around, so reach out.
We are actually also still considering the group coaching side of things,
education courses, some other options.
Yeah, I personally have been feeling a huge, undeniable pull toward focusing on our children more than I have been able to. Running the Whole Food Collective with Jordan is an amazing experience, but it's very time consuming and it can be very stressful. And usually looking after myself is the first thing to go, which is so ironic, I know.
Someone just got here.
Oh,
we'll recap in a minute.
We'll recap. But I just have felt this huge push to be focusing more of my time on the family. And so this is also, once we've made it through these tricky few months ahead of us, that's something that I'm really looking forward to being able to do, because everything will be more simplified. When you have 25 products as opposed to 480 or something like that, it's more focused, it's more simplified, there's less to think about, there's less to do. And so I'm personally really looking forward to being able to bring that to our family. So thank you for understanding. Thank you for your beautiful comments. I have read, I think, all of them as we've been going.
Yeah.
So thank you. It's
so
really
many great
means a lot.
comments. Yeah.
It really means a lot.
Really appreciate that feedback. To those who may have just joined us and missed most of it, hopefully you can watch the replay to get the full details. But in summary, due to the incredible drain on resources that having a whole food store brings with it, a huge multi-SKU whole food store, multi-product, we're having to refine our offering to our booster blends, and we're pivoting and focusing on those products and building more of them and getting them out to more people. There are more changes. There's details of those changes that'll be given in an FAQs page, questions about the loyalty program and things like that. So I'll put a link in here in a second. And
you just read that comment, didn't you? Thank you. I don't know your name because it didn't come up on, when you don't click the link, we don't see your name, but that comment that you just left really touched Jordan's heart, obviously.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate the support, and we wouldn't be asking for it if it wasn't incredibly necessary for us right now. But we know we can get through it, and we look forward to getting through it, and look forward to celebrating in the years to come. So I think we'll
wrap it up.
We'll leave it there, and thank you again for your time tonight, and really appreciate the support, and hope that can continue through the clearance sale. We can clear all these products. We can start fresh with booster blends. We can focus on getting even more incredible blends out to you guys, and together we can push them out to people, who knows, even all over the world, if we can get to that stage. But we're really grateful, and we hope to see you as we continue this journey. We're just pivoting and having a narrowed focus on what's most viable and what's most beneficial. So thank you so much.
We will send you an email with a summary in case you've missed it, and we'll include the link to the FAQ page and all the rest. Thank you for being with us, and thank you, Jordan, for carrying this whole live. It's been really lovely for me to hear you as much as anyone else, I think.
We appreciate
Love you guys.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Speak to you soon.